Welcome back. So in our previous video, we fetched all these categories and products onto the UI. Okay, we fetched all the categories and products onto the UI. So the first thing I want to do is, if you don't want all these products, now these people of fake, for them actually they give you on their API, they have done it so well. You can just come here on limit results and you can pass in the limit. Okay, but if you don't have that, like for instance, if you are using this one where they don't have a limit, I'm just going to show you a JavaScript way of limiting the products. Okay, so if you wanted to do that where we are doing the map, so you just go to the page here. So here we are actually putting all the products here. Okay, so we can reduce the products to only 10 by saying on these products we can splice, and we take only the first 10 by saying dot splice. Okay, and then here you put 0 to 10, as simple as that. So just put splice here. This one will only splice out, or it will just extract the first 10 products from the products array. Okay, now it might not be so much efficient, but it will just show only the 10 products on the UI. You see that? It will show only the 10 if you want 5. Now another alternative, if I don't do splice, let me first remove this splice here. Okay, I can remove that splice, and then if the API you are using, it supports limits, like this one, it supports limits. You can just come here and you just simply do this limit to 5. Okay, you can just simply do limit to 5, and then that's here. I'm just going to come here where we fetched in the get products. Okay, you can add just at the end, and you limit only to 5 items. Okay, on the endpoint you can pass in the limit and you pass the items you want. You can pass in 5. Now let me first confirm I have internet, so just come back here, and now the fetching, you see it is going to fetch only 5 items from the API. Okay, now it is up to you, whatever you want. I'm just going to go with splice for now, because assuming you don't have this endpoint, so you just simply come to your page, and then on these products you can apply the splice like so, 0 to 10, as simple as that. So that one we are done. We splice our products to only this, and even you can also go ahead and remove this one by splicing only to 5. Okay, let me just also come here and remove this one by saying dot splice. Okay, and you can splice 0 to 5. Okay, just like that. So if you go back, you'll see that one item has been removed from the UI and we have only 4 items. So the first thing I want to work on while fetching data, you would want to show a user that data is being fetched, and we can show a loading spinner onto the UI like here, so that it can tell someone that data is being fetched. Okay, so what you can do is, that one has been made super easy in Next.js 13. The only thing you just have to do, okay, they have already built in React suspense. The only thing you have to do, come to the app folder here, come to the app folder, create a new file, and I want you to take a note of what we are doing right now. So just simply create a file and call it loading.js. okay, loading.js, just simply create it in the app folder, just loading.js. okay, and then here just simply say rfc, and convert this one into capital. Okay, and you can remove this React, and then inside here we can just say loading data. I'm just going to put another p tag. I just actually make it h2, and we can just say loading data from API. Okay, just you can put something like this. Okay, you can put something like this. Now in future you're just going to use a component. For now, let's just leave it like this. Okay, let me just restart. Export default is what I think that is before we made it a component. Okay, so want to assimilate fetching of these products from the API. Let me first go back to here. Now I know they might have already cached this one, but here from here, let me just go to store. I don't know if we could see that. Just click on store. Takes some time, I don't know. Okay, let's just first of all try to fetch, to restart the app so that it is starting from, and you can also reduce the speed of internet to see how it works. I'm just going to restart the app so that you see. npm run dev. So just going to load here, hoping we can see it. Okay, so it is starting here. npm run dev is still starting. Just let's wait for a second. So the only thing you have to do is just add a file name loading.js, and it is a special file. You don't need to name it anything else. Don't just start like spinner.js or anything else. Just simply name it loading.js, and then inside here, then you can see this loading here. Let's just go back and we see, hopefully this time we can see something like loading data or something like that. So it is starting, and of course this data is small, but under normal circumstances you might be fetching a lot more data from the API, and it might take more time. So you would want to show your users on the interface, and I think you saw that there was loading data at the beginning before it went. There was something like that. Okay, now I'm not going to suffer showing you, but that is how you do it. So if you want to use a component, okay, we are going to create this component later, but let's just first focus on this functionality. So let's start with the one maybe for the products. So I want, if I click on the product, if I click on it, it should take me to the product page. Okay, it should take me to the product page. So how do I do that? The first thing you have to create a folder. So want it to take us something like, when you click it, I want this to change the URL, and it should take us something like products. Okay, products, and then it should take us like to 1. If you click on product number 1, it should take us a page saying products stroke 1. So for now, this page does not exist. Okay, so the first thing is to create the products folder. So I'm just going to create a products folder here, and I'm just going to name it products, and this is what we are calling dynamic rendering. So we're just having products here, products. So inside this folder, I'm just going to create a special folder. So look at this folder right now. Right click and create a new folder, and I'm just going to wrap it as an ID. Okay, and it is a folder, and then inside this folder I'm going to create a file, call it page.js, and then I'm just going to say rfc. Okay, rfc, I'm just going to call this one as maybe product page. Okay, so in the product page, what I want here to show is, let's just say, I'm just going to put h2 here, saying h2 saying product detail page. Okay, just going to have product detail page. So now this time, if I visit this endpoint of products 1, you will see that it will take us to that page. Just wait for a second. Okay, so you can see product detail page. Okay, so even if I say right now I pass in 2, it takes to the same page. And why is that? Now this ID, special ID in Next.js, it means dynamic rendering. Okay, so in dynamic rendering, you put here the thing that the name of the folder here of the what is going to be changing. Let's say if it was going to be slug here, if it was going to be a slug, it would be slug in this brackets here. If it is an ID, it is this ID. Okay, it is this ID. So this ID here, since it's going to be dynamic, changing all the time, it can be 3, it can be 5, it can be 10. So that's why we are saying this ID is dynamic. And tell Next.js that the ID I'm going to use here is dynamic. You put it in a special folder in these square brackets. Okay, so we put this one in the square brackets to tell Next.js that this page is a dynamic page. Okay, I mean, I think I'm clear on that. So that is the first step. So the second step is we can create a component we want to show here. Okay, want to create a component. So for instance, you can create a component. We can create a component. Let's just say on the detail page, we want to show the image. Okay, we can even just actually just still use the card. Okay, we can just bring here the product card here. But for now, let's first get the data for this item here. Okay, I want first fetch the data for this item. So go back to our libs folder, and we are going to create one more. We are going to create one more file, and we're just going to call it get product. So here we are getting, you can call it get single product. I'm just going to call it get product.js. Okay, and it does the same thing like these ones. You can just copy any of these one and just come and paste it here. The first thing which changes is the name of the function is get product. Okay, we are getting a single product. Now the second one is the API, so you can just go here and you can just come here and see get a single product, and the API endpoint is here. Simply just right click, copy, and then come and put this endpoint here. Okay, now if you notice, we have, let me just first put here product, and we are returning a product. Now if you see, now we are getting for product 1. Okay, so to make this one dynamic, we have to pass in the ID. So we pass in this ID, and then we dynamically insert this ID here. We don't want to fetch for only one product, one ID of one. We want to dynamically get this ID, and then we pass in here this ID. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to remove this these quotes, okay, these ones. I'm just going to wrap this link inside the backticks or the template retros, and then after putting the template retros, I simply change this one. I change it to this ID I'm passing in. So I just change this to the ID by putting $ and then ID. So this is how we insert dynamic data into using the backticks. So now this is fetching for a specific, is fetching data for a product of specific ID. Now this ID we are going to be passing in it when we reach on this page. Okay, now how does this page get the ID from the URL? Okay, so the first thing, if we want to get this kind of thing here in the URL, where is it? Here. So you see I have products 5. So if you want to get this this item to be having this link, that means the link on our product. Let me first go to the store. Okay, let me first go to the store. Now this item here, you see right now the link on this item is a hash. If you go on the product card, if you go on the product card right now under components, then product card, if you go inside here, you realize the link is not there, taking us to the page. So we would want this link to go to stock products. Okay, stock products, stock ID. Okay, and we are pushing this to go to this link of products and then this ID. And we also want to pass the ID because we have the ID here. Okay, we have this ID here with the data, so we want to pass it down here on this link. Okay, so we can also make this one also dynamic. Okay, so let me just first cut this. And first of all, we're just going to put these brackets, and then inside we put backticks, and inside the backticks we can now put this, and we can pass the ID also like so. So we have the ID here, and I'm passing it here. So now when I actually click on the products, let's first see if they have refreshed. Okay, so right now you can see when I hover, the ID is changing. If I click on this, it takes me to product 2. If I go back, click on another one, it takes me to product 3. So how do we get this ID so that we can pass in our function? So on this page, here in the products, we have the ID. So inside this page, we have the products, the product page here. We want to get this function here. So first of all, I'm just going to say product const product, okay, is equal to await. So we await get product. So we have this get product function from the libs, okay, from the libs, and it is a function. But then of course you have to make this one async. Now one thing we have to do is we have to pass in. If you go and see this function, it wants an ID. You must pass in an ID. So where do we get this ID? Okay, where do we get this ID here? So to get the ID is we get from the params. So by default, this page you can access the params, and these params is actually where you have this 3, okay, is where you have these 3 here on these params here, and you saw that loading letter from the API. So you have these 3 here, and what I'm just going to do is in these params we can destructure these params and we get out an ID, and this ID I pass here is the ID you have here, this one. Okay, this ID you put in the brackets is the params that you get inside here. So if you use another name like product ID, here destructure and get product ID. So this ID I want to pass it here because we know get product needs to have this param. Okay, so right now don't expect to see like errors. Okay, everything, and you can see they are saying loading data from the API. You saw that means the other loading is working. So now we have our product. Okay, we have our product here, so we could just call the product card. Okay, or we could simply create another component of a detail page component, and on the detail page what I simply need to add in the description. So what I'm just going to do is I will come here, copy everything in the product card, create a new component. Okay, create a new component, and I'm just going to call it detail product detail page. So you can just say product detail page dot jsx. Okay, and you can just paste this, just simply change on top here product detail page, just like so. It also takes in data, okay, and has this ID, and we not even need ID, but we can just leave it there. And this time we would not even need to make it a link. You see this? We would not need to make it a link on the product detail page. Okay, you can just completely use a different design. Okay, I can just come here and I make this one to be a div. I remove this href. Okay, and this is just a div, as simple as that. And then inside this what I want to add is the description. So I want to add here p, and I'm just going to add description, and we are going to get this description from this here. So you have the price, you have the description, and all this data. So where I'm getting those ones, if you just went to this API where you fetched this, they give you actually how the product looks like. So a product looks like this. It has a title, price, and has a description on it. Okay, it has a category, so we can also show category. We have the image, and it has even rating. So you can even just show more things. Let's see, we have description, we have even a category, so we can just get this category. We can also show the category, why not? So we have the title, price, description. I just want to put here category, and then we have the image. So down here I'm just also going to show the category after the price. I want to show the category, just like that. Okay, now let's see how we are going to do. So I'm just going to get this product detail page. Let's go to the page here, and instead here of rendering this, let's simply render the product detail page. Now we can put it in a section. Okay, we can put it in a section, and then here let's put this product detail page. So call this, and you can import it from there, components, and then we are going to pass in the data. Okay, so just come here and say data is equal to product. Okay, just say is equal to product, and the product is this one we are getting from the API. Okay, so for now let's just see, hope everything is okay. I'm just going to go back here. Now since we are on 3, if I refresh, you see now we have this. Now we are having a problem with the image here. Let's first go back. I think just because of changing this one from a link. Okay, just because of changing this one from a link. and let's also give it, let's put this one, wait a minute, the problem actually comes from here, section. Let's give this one, inside this, let's put here dot products. Just for purposes of styling, I'm not going to go ahead. You can style the page the way you want, but for the purposes of this, you can just simply put that class so that let me see if it has done something. Not anything really. Okay, let's just look at how do we have in the store. So in the store we have section, product section. So we have to give the product section and then products. Okay, so go back to this here page. Let's just make this one a section of products section. I don't know if it is product or products, but you just simply want yes. So you can see it has, this one will work. It doesn't matter whether the height is small or not. You can just go ahead and style this page the way you want. But the most important thing is we are getting this. We are getting this. I want to remove what? What do I want to remove from this product detail page? There is a $sign on the category. So this is now, if you go back to these products and you can see here loading data from the API. You see that? Okay, that is from the other thing we did. So just click on any other, just click on any other, and you see I'm just going to change and I put a spinner in a minute. But you see we are successfully fetching data from the API. Okay, we are fetching it from the API. Now if you're having difficulties, rewatch this video step by step. Pause, you can ask questions in the description. You can do all those things. Just ask as many questions as you can. Okay, so I'm just going right now to put the loader. I'm just I showed you how you show that the loading component is loading data from the API is coming from here. It is coming from this file we made, loading.js, and it is this one. Okay, so I want to give a good section. I'm just going to give this one to be a section actually. Okay, and I'm just going to give it a class name of loading. Okay, I'm just going to give this a class name of loading, or you could just give it a loader or whatever. Okay, you can just give that one loading, and I'm just going to only change it already has a min height when you just give section. What I want is to get a spinner. So there are many websites for spinners. I'm just going to link like these two down, so you can just use any of these spinners they have here. They really look nice. So if you wanted to use a particular spinner from here, okay, they have so many. You get it? If you just look at the spinner and you want to use it, I want to use which one should I use? Okay, you can just go and get, I'm just going to use this one. Okay, simply click on it. Okay, click on it and simply copy here. They give you a span, so the HTML they give this span. Okay, so in fact just copy this and just take it here. Instead just put this just like so, and this one just make it a class name. Okay, just make it a class name just like this. Okay, then go ahead and also copy this CSS. Okay, just copy this CSS And if you just copy this CSS just like so, and this CSS you can make it its own file. Okay, you don't want to mix things in, just in case you want to change it, come here and create a new file, and we can create it and say loader.scss, or you could call it spinner.scss, and simply paste all the code that you got from there. Now it has keyframes. I'm not going to take you around this loader, but this is good enough. So just come here, this loader, and the spelling of loader, just put here and let's bring it in the main CSS here. Just copy this and duplicate it down here and say loader, as simple as that. So now we have this loader working. Every time we are fetching data from the, or we are doing any activity, that spinner must be seen. I would love to see how it looks like. Okay, so now, and I'm just going to give you, of course, an assignment. I cannot do all the work and you think you are going to learn. Okay, so right now we have put this. You can go to this detail page. So I want you to use the same concept. Okay, I want you to use the same concept you do for these categories. Okay, you do it for these categories. Now for now, you might just not actually do like the other filtering or something. Okay, you just, the only thing we just want is just click on this one. Actually, they just do that. So we do the same steps, so that if you do not understand it on the other one, so pay attention. Okay, so the first thing is, I'm just going to go to, so what we want, let's first understand what we want. According to this e-commerce, when you go and click on any of these items, let's say phones, okay, so what it is going to take you to the category page, but then on that category page, it is fetching products within that category. Okay, so this is a category page. We normally call this one a category page, but then on this page, the purpose of this page is to display products that belong to this category. Okay, so that's what you want, and that's why I had chosen this API in the first place, because it has this filter products. Okay, now when you click on filter products, you will scroll down. There's where they say filter by category. Okay, and you can see here you pass in the category ID. Okay, if you went to this endpoint here, okay, if you went to this endpoint and you paste it here, you will see it fetches products. Okay, it fetches products within this category ID 1. Okay, it fetches these products within category ID 1. So what you are going to do is, the first thing is fetching that data. So you can just go to the libs folder and create another file, okay, saying get products by category, or actually just say get products, okay, by category. Okay, get products by category.js. Okay, just like that, and you can just say RFC or RFC. Okay, remove this, and then let me just copy for anything here. Okay, let me just copy for this. Okay, just simply paste it here. Get products by, just on top here, get products by category. Okay, get products by category, and then it also takes in an ID, and this ID takes in is a category ID. So you can just say cat ID, so that you understand it very well, that this, what we are passing in here is a category ID. Then we come and pass it here in this. Now we go and get that endpoint. So get this endpoint, this one, and it doesn't matter whether you are changing the API, it will still work. So what matters is the endpoint. So just come here and change this endpoint. Okay, change this endpoint. What it is the ID, they just put $cat ID, and the cat ID means the category ID. This one, it fetches and gets products depending on this URL, and you can see it is getting products whose category ID is this ID. Now here we get products, of course, and then here we also get products. Okay, just like this. Now moving on is that now we want, if we click on this link right now, you see it has a hash. If you go to the category card, it is the one we click. So if we just click on the category card here, category card, you see that this link is not taking us anywhere. So want this link to take us to something like, let me go here, it should take us something like category, okay, categories, and then like 5. It should take us something like this, categories and then 5. And you can see right now we have a 404 page because we don't have this page. So the first thing is create the categories folder, and this ID is dynamic, so we are going to create it like this. So go in this the app folder, create a new folder, call it categories, okay, and then inside that folder we create another folder, and we call it, you can call it cat ID, any you want. Just create cat ID to make a difference, cat ID, okay, just like that. And then inside this cat ID you can just simply have page.js, okay, you can have page.js, and then just say RFC, and we can remove this React thing, and then here we can have page, and you can just even just say this, whatever you just put here doesn't matter. And what are we returning here now on this page? What I would want to return is something we already have on the store. So I want to return this section, the product section. Just copy this and bring it inside this page. Okay, we're just going to return this section here. Okay, and I'm just going to put here something like products by category. I'm just going to say products by category. Okay, products by category, and then here we have the products. So the first thing we have to get is the products. We need this products array. So where do we get these products? We already have the endpoint in the libs folder, which says get products by category. We are getting them here. So we have these products from here. Okay, you can see to return these products. So what we do is we simply come here, we copy this function, and you can even just copy it with this. So we want to get this function inside this page. Just on top here, just come and say const products, okay, is equal to await. So we are awaiting products by category, and this await is complaining. We make this one async, okay, and we are awaiting get products by category ID. Okay, now where do we get this category? On this page. Okay, and we said, so the first thing is we have to send people onto this page before we have problems with this page. People, when someone clicks on the, product is not a function. Okay, when someone clicks on this, when we go back to the store, I may hope that won't be a problem. If we go back here to the store, if you hover on the category, they are still having a hash. So to go to the category ID and we send people to this page here, category ID, we have to go and edit our category ID card. So you can see a category card. So here instead we want to send people onto the page of categories stroke, and then here we specify an ID, maybe 2 or 3. So since we have the ID, we can put the exact ID. So we want to push people to categories stroke ID, and this is the one we are having here, categories, and this cat ID here. You get this cat ID is what we are sending them. So I'm just going to dynamically put this ID we have here. The first step is remove this and put backticks and paste this one. We can remove these double quotes now, and this ID we have it here. So we simply put it dynamically also by putting just like this. So right now when someone clicks on this link for this one, is going to reload, you'll see. So you see when I hover now is category 1, when I hover is category 2, category 3, category 4, category 5. You see that? So if I click now, I go to category 1. Okay, this is good. Then let's just sort this one. First of all, go to the product, not detailed product page. This time is this page, category page, page.js. Let's first export this one from libs. This is what the problem was. Get this one from the libs because we made it in this libs here. So now if we just do that, we have here the stuff, and our spinner is small. Cat ID is not defined. Okay, so here we have to pass in this cat ID. So where do we get the cat ID onto this page? Okay, so when you pass in something like this top here, this slash after this page is what you call params. Is what you call what? Params. So we can get these params within this page here, and we can just say params. First destructure them, and we get params, and on these params we can destructure cat ID. Okay, this cat ID we are using here, when you have this as cat ID, it will be the param here. So you just destructure this cat, and then you get this cat ID as params, then you pass them here. Then we shouldn't see that error. Okay, we shouldn't see that error right now, and our spinner is there, and it is really small. Okay, it is really small. I want first to work on that spinner so that it is really big. Where is the code for the spinner? Let me first go to the loading for a minute. I want to go to loading this one. Okay, and then we have the loader.scss, and the loader is here. Width is 1 em really, so that is I think where the problem is. Let's give it enough width, maybe let's say 300 pixels. Okay, let's do 300 pixels, and I can also give here this dot loading. This is the section. Okay, let's give it background color of black. Okay, background color or background, doesn't matter. And we can also give it a height. We can just say display flex, align items center, justify content center, and you can also give it a height of 100 VH, just like that. And I think now it should sort, but you still have this product card thing here. So this product card, yeah, so it is looking weird, but it works. So here, what we want is product card is not defined, so just come here and import it. We don't have it here. And page, so categories page. So yes, import this category, this product card here we used here. You just press Ctrl spacebar, and then to bring this suggestion. If you're wondering how it is bring the suggestion, you must have installed the ES7 extension. Okay, just install this ES7. Okay, install this ES7 thing here. ES7 snippets. This one. Just install this one and we start working. Okay, so now when we go to this page, now we have all the products, but the images are not being seen. I don't know why. So just get like category 1. Okay, they just go, and you see that spinner, however much it is weird, but just click on this. Let's get these excuse. Okay, and I don't know where it is picking the endpoint we are using. We are using this endpoint, and the products we are getting now. Let me just come here. Okay, remember, if you go to this link here, let's look at the products. I think we have them here. So you can see we still have this thing of images. Okay, we have our images, and that's why this image is not showing off. It is located on images at 1. You get it? It is an array of images. Okay, it is an array of images, and for now there's no way how I could demonstrate for you. Okay, the only way is maybe to go and we create a different detail card for this one. I do not want to do that. Okay, the only thing at least you are seeing is that we are able to receive products, and you can see we have their names and prices. Okay, we have their names and prices, just like that. We have their names and their prices. If you want, you can style it. You can see the problem why it's not showing images is because the output is just like this. Okay, the output is just like this. If we just came here and show the images, if we just came here and look at the images are there, but here we are not getting them because of the API. Okay, because of the API endpoint we are using. Okay, and I feel like this video is getting longer. I don't want to make it longer than this, but you just try to practice what we have done. We have done a lot of things. We fetched stuff, items, products from the API, categories from the API, and all that kind of stuff. So actually to solve the problem is we can get these categories from the same API, I guess. Let me just get the categories. No, it will not work. If we get the categories from this API, which one is that? This fake API. Fake API doesn't have that endpoint we are trying to do. You can get all categories here. Okay, you can get all the categories from this, but they don't have fetching products or filtering products according to a category. Okay, yeah, so you just go and practice that. Practice how to use dynamic rendering. I've also put a spinner. You saw how I was doing that. Okay, right now it has already cached these ones. You cannot see it, but you can work on your spinner, and we said to put the spinner while fetching the products. You simply only do one thing: create this loading.js, give it this loading, and you can just come and do all these things here. Okay, yeah, so thank you so much for watching up to this point. Thank you so much. If you have not described, please describe, please watch. If you have not subscribed our YouTube channel, please subscribe. That's how you can support us, and keep liking us, share with others so that we can keep creating more content. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.